666.
Topic 3, Saudi Arabia mulls economic free zones for cloud computing and manufacturing. The kingdom plans to create special economic zones offering incentives to invest in sectors including healthcare, manufacturing, and cloud computing. More details are forthcoming about this, according to a Bloomberg report, but investment in the kingdom has been, quote, less than hoped for, according to Khalid Al-Falih. He added, "We want to import capital and bring back Saudi capital that didn't find opportunities inside our kingdom." Foreign investment, super important. The foreign investors that Saudi officials want to attract are those who will help transfer technology and expertise to Saudis. Richard, we did talk a little bit about foreign investment into the EV space, but this is sort of a new, interesting idea for the Saudis. Free zones have worked elsewhere in the world. Is this the way forward for the kingdom?
Well, the race is on. By that I mean the Gulf. Free zones have been, especially obviously in the Emirates, have been a major source of income and a real boost to trade for the Emirates. It's a methodology that's proven to work. Saudi's doing a number of things. First of all, look at their FDI. Their FDI has been disappointing. I mean, it's gone from in 2008 from 39 billion and just trended directly down until 2017. It was under 2 billion, bounced around 18, 19, 4.5. Last year it was 5.5. They really need to get that up. They want to get that up, and they're doing any number of things. First and foremost, they're trying to revamp and update all their regulatory structures for doing business in Saudi Arabia, so you can do it faster. You can get through. Get permits and any number of things. Their ports and logistics are more efficient than they used to be. Again, all these things are progressing. They're being really aggressive, as we've seen. They by 2024 they've mandated that if you're doing you have to have if you're doing business in Saudi Arabia, you have to have a headquarters in Saudi Arabia. They've recently modified free zone local content limits. They've reduced them considerably. In essence, sort of a shot at the free zones in the Emirates. Basically saying their local content isn't enough for it to be considered duty free. So there's any number of things going on, and so this is great. This is good. I mean, and what they're looking for in terms of specific sectors, I think, was healthcare. What were some of the
cloud
others?
Computing and manufacturing? So all
yeah.
top focuses for them.
So the issue is this is not the critics would say, look, Saudi Arabia clearly has the biggest market. If you want to succeed in the region, you have to crack the Saudi market. So it makes perfect sense in that way. But the same people would say, okay, but the Emiratis are way ahead of you. So the Saudis are playing catch up on this. It's good that they're playing catch up, but it's when we went back to the beginning, early things like EV, the incentives and this sort of thing. Whoever is considering investing in Saudi Arabia or bringing over production or transferring technology, they have to make money. So that's the bottom line for any company, and that's what Saudi Arabia is trying to position themselves as, a place you can come in. There aren't impediments to setting up business or conducting business or repatriating income or any number of things. So they're competitive with the region. And so this is a step in that direction. Again, they're flying. There's some headwinds. Other people are doing it too. So they have the advantage of being the largest market. They aren't the first movers on this. So they'll have to do it well and do it right.
And I thought Khalid Al-Falih's candor about the progress of attracting investment was frankly refreshing. I mean, he said investment in the kingdom had been less than hoped for. You don't really hear language like this a lot when talking about ongoing programs, especially Vision 2030. And that's all part of this. It's like the Vision 2030 is a goalpost, now 9 years ahead. And it's important for Saudi Arabia to take stock of their current situation and how things are going so they can make adjustments like considering economic free zones. And it just shows sort of a level of thinking at the highest levels of government that the focus is still on the goal, but how they get there can adapt and change to actually get there. So it was refreshing to see that quote from Khalid Al-Falih, who said that at a conference in Riyadh on Monday.
No, that's a good point, and I think people forget because the Saudis, they I think they invented the term giga. I don't know, but every project is so huge, and the aspirations, as we've talked about, are considerable. But I wouldn't dwell too much on the top end. I really do dwell on the direction, and it's a recognition of just what you said. Khalid Al-Falih and people who are making decisions over there are pretty honest with themselves, and they're doing these things because there's a real need, and they need to backfill and set up a better environment to attract investment. So yeah, they're doing amazing things, and they're proposing amazing things, and they're projecting amazing things. But the hardcore change is happening in things like this, in the regulatory environment, and things that induce business to come and to stay. And I think they're matter of fact about that, and I think they're making genuine efforts to improve that environment, which is the meaningful part of Vision 2030. If they don't get 100%, if they get 50% of all their goals, huge success.
That'll do it for this week, I think. Don't forget, if you subscribe to this podcast, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, etc., you get it delivered directly to your inbox. You'll see it easier. It helps us a lot. Thanks so much, and look next week for our interview with Lina Al Maina, and we'll see you next week. Thank you, Richard.
Thank you, Lucian.